Yo, what's up? What's poppin'? It's been a minute since the last time I was on camera like this. As you can tell, things are a little bit different. If you haven't seen me before, maybe you can't tell. But I tried to dye my hair. Could have gone better, could have gone worse. I've been told I look like somebody ordered Geralt of Rivia on Wish, which, to be honest, I'll take that. I ain't turning that down. That's Henry Cavill, bro. But alright, let's skip the foreplay. I've managed to do quite a bit of reading in the first half of 2021, so let's go through everything. Alright, I'm going to split this into two sections, one section for manga, one section for books. I'll start with manga because I feel like there's more of an audience for that, but without further ado, let's get into it. I'll have timestamps for everything I talk about in the bottom. This is reviewing my 2021 reads so far. Let's go. Let's start with my favorite thing I've read this year, Vagabond by Takehiko Inu. I'm not even finished because some of the volumes, the later volumes, have been sold out everywhere, but this is probably already my favorite manga so far. This is absolutely incredible. Character writing, amazing. Art, unparalleled. Maybe only Berserk can match it in art. Thought-provoking, philosophical, absolutely visceral, with some of the cleanest action as well as some of the deepest narrative themes I've ever read in any form of media. This is peak fiction. If you haven't read Vagabond yet, put it at the top of your to-read list. It's amazing. Next, we got Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean. I saw the anime announcement. I couldn't resist. I had to go and read the whole thing, and it was a ton of fun. I love the setting. It's super creative. The stand abilities are probably at their best and most interesting so far in the series. Jolene is a fantastic protagonist. Pucci's a great villain. I love what it added to the story of the Joestar family and their conflict with Dio. The supporting cast, I feel, could have been developed a little bit more, and I thought the middle dragged on. There were a couple of stand fights in the middle I wasn't really a fan of, but overall a really solid entry into the JoJo's canon, and I am super excited for the anime. 20th Century Boys by Naoki Urasawa. This is my first Urasawa, and I can see why he's considered one of the best in the business. The plot is incredibly intricate with a wide and deep cast of characters, but what I love the most about it is how strongly it conveys the feelings of camaraderie and nostalgia that come with being a child. The bonds and dreams you create in your childhood and the feelings of directionlessness and purposelessness that come from failing to achieve those dreams or feeling like you failed to achieve those dreams. It's really beautiful writing, but I do think that there are some pacing issues, especially in the final third, and there are a couple of elements that really haven't aged well. Still a great manga though. Tokyo Ghoul and Tokyo Ghoul Re. Probably one of the most ambitious stories that I've read in quite a while. We've got beautiful art, symbolism out the ass, and one of the most well-written protagonists you'll see in any form of media. I do think it went downhill towards the end, and I wasn't really a huge fan of the ending, but I don't want to get too into it because I have a whole video specifically about Tokyo Ghoul. Check that out if you're interested. Chainsaw Man by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Probably one of the most hyped manga of recent years, and yeah, it deserves the hype. The art is insane. When I use the word insane, I mean quite literally insane. Like, how the hell did someone think to draw any of this? It really captures the chaotic nature of the series and its protagonist. Denji is a fantastic protagonist with a great supporting cast. And honestly, it has a lot more social commentary than people give it credit for. Like, this is a really great series, guys. And it's finished, and it's short, so go ahead, read it. Next, Uzumaki by Junji Ito. This is my first Junji Ito story, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not the biggest fan of horror, but the writing and art in this story is just so creative that you can't help but get into it. Ito takes a concept as simple and ubiquitous as spirals and twists it in so many different ways throughout this story and really explores this idea. What I really love is how the scope of the story actually mirrors a spiral, which is not uncommon, but it's tied together really well in this. It starts out as like strange one-off occurrences involving spiral shapes, and then it turns into things that are kind of contagious, spreading from person to person, and then it explodes into something that's completely all-encompassing. But I do think the actual individual stories are a little hit or miss. Now let's get into some currently ongoing stuff that I've caught up on this year. One Piece, I caught up on Wano. I hadn't been keeping up for about 3-ish years, so I basically had all of Wano to go through in one sitting, and I am glad I did it. Like, this feels like a culmination of a lot of stuff that's been in the works for a very long time. It's a very exciting time to be a One Piece fan. I can't wait to see where the story goes from here. I mean, I don't know how they're gonna resolve this storyline, but I have faith in Oda to pull it off. Grand Blue. This is bar none the funniest anime or manga out there for me. It's just so funny, and like, if you watch the anime, I would say that the manga is so much better. I had an absolute blast reading it. Like, the art is so stupidly detailed that you will read a panel and laugh, and then you'll look at it again and you'll just take in more of the details and you'll start laughing again. Like, it just, you can go at your own pace in manga, which I think really suits the style of comedy and storytelling that they're going for in Grand Blue. And Yeah, I'm really glad I read it. I can't wait to see what happens next. Jujutsu Kaisen, I caught up after the anime ended. I've been keeping up. It's on hiatus right now, but I'm gonna read it when it comes back. People have already talked about everything great about this series. It does pretty much everything about shounen really well. However, I don't like it as much as most people do, mainly because I find Gege Akutami's explanations for the power systems and how everything works so confusing. Especially the latest arc. Like, there's a lot of exposition, but I think there's a way to do exposition that makes it easy and intuitive for the audience to follow even when it's complicated, and Akutami just doesn't know how to do that. Like, I sit there staring at the same page so many times when I read Jujutsu Kaisen because I don't know what's happening. And I know I'm not that dumb, so I can only assume that this is just a flaw of Akutami's writing. My Hero Academia, caught up on that. The war arc goes crazy, shit is hype as hell. Horikoshi's actually utilizing some of his female characters, which is nice. That's a nice change. Still a long way to go though. Like, I'm still waiting for Nejire Hara to do something, but hey, there's a lot of hype. It's well deserved. I'm excited. Attack on Titan, it ended, and then it ended again because there were more new pages. I made multiple videos about everything that happened at the end of Attack on Titan, so I don't really want to go into it, but I did read it. This is just documenting the fact that yes, I did finish Attack on Titan. Lastly, we have Spy Family by Tatsuya Endo, another huge hit, and once again, it's well deserved. It's all about a spy, an assassin, and a psychic form a fake family so they can maintain their covers and end up kind of developing some real feelings. It's hilarious, it's endearing, the art is great, and it has so much heart. I love Spy Family. Reading it makes me happy. And with that said, we're done with the manga. Feel free to let me know if you've read any of these manga, or if you plan to read any of these manga. You can drop a comment, drop a like. I'm always down to talk about the stuff that I've read. And if you're interested in novels, stick around for part 2, which is coming very soon, I hope. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.